Now, if we want to modify an object, first we have to read it. So of course, we read it following the process we've already been through. Then it's important to understand you can only modify a local copy of an object. You don't modify an object in the extent, in the repository, because other sessions may be looking at that object. So we cannot modify objects directly on the page where they currently exist. If you're modifying an object, you have to make a copy of it. Now again, this is not a Smalltalk object copy, this is a memory copy that's the virtual machine handles. So this is, we're discussing the virtual machine here. So you copy it into your local memory, and then once it's in your local memory, you can make whatever modifications you want. Once you've made modifications to the object in local memory, then you put it on a new page. You can't put it on the old page because other sessions are looking at the old page. So any modification to an object goes on a new page. We'll discuss how that works out, but any modified object goes on a new page with other modified objects. The new page contains only new and changed objects. The only things that go on a page are new and modified objects, because other objects will still be on the old page where they existed before. So once you've copied them to a free page, then you can put the new page in the shared page cache once you've found a slot for it or frame for it. Then you update the object table to say, this object is now on this page. And then you attempt to commit. Now, your modifications won't be visible to other sessions yet. So other sessions are looking at an old object table that has references to the object on old pages. You're getting ready to make what you've done visible. If you were successful at that, then it turns out we'll have two versions of the object. One on an old page that has the old version of the object, one on a new page that has the new version of the object. Okay, so now we have two versions of the object. The old version is called a shadow object. So it's not the real one, but just sort of a shadow that's made that looks something like the original one. It's a shadow object. And any page that is holding shadow objects is called a shadow page. So a modified object will be on a different page from the unmodified object. The object table is updated when the transaction commits. So now the object table, there's two object tables. One that points to the old page, one that points to the new page. Two object tables. Each gem maintains its view until it reaches a transaction boundary. So all the other sessions out there can look at the old object table, whereas new sessions, you would have created a new object table, your session, and then anytime someone logs in, they get the new object table, or view of the database. Also, anytime any of the other sessions does a commit or abort, it will release its old view, the old object table, and it will get a new view, the new object table. There's a unique object table for each transaction, because each transaction is modifying something, so each modification will have changed the object table. And so there is essentially a complete object table for each transaction. Now there's some optimizations that we have where we don't actually have to make a complete copy of all the whole trillion entries in the object table. You can have an object table that's similar with this change. So, but there is, in essence, a logical object table for each transaction. Each time you commit, there's a new object table. Pages with an old view of modified objects is a shadow page. So the shadow page is referenced from an older object table.